I'm up just, you have to excuse me because all my glands are swollen up. And this is what ill health does to you. Okay, I've got my fruit. It's gone 6:30ish UK time. Excuse me, I'm just in a white mess. I didn't get to sleep all day. Getting to sleep at 4 o'clock this morning doesn't help, does it? So this is how disabled people like complex needs. Where do I start? Not to react straight away to things, that's the one thing. And I did yesterday. It didn't help me really eating grapes. But mates, I've come down with a chill and a bug again. I don't know what I think it's this condition I'm living in. And I was okay laying straight in bed, but the neck and all this right side of me went during the night. I just text my sister. If she sees this video, I doubt it. It's not her fault. She only thought what she was doing best. And I've had nasty, really disrespectful emails. Anyway, using the statute system UK, report that. And if I can't get out my bloody out to pay for what I need to pay to do what I normally used to do, then how do you expect people to try and do what they need to do? Okay. The United Kingdom, in my area anyway, I can only go from experience. It's very hard to talk to pension. And I have to get a bit of paper to remind me what to say. Very good me jumping from one thing to another. I'm not very good at keeping on point. It's a kind of viral thing again. That's driven my body. I'm taking my natural juice thing with vitamin powder thing. And trying to keep hydrated and calm. We've got some chill out music in the background going on. It's extremely hard to do. To thousands of people that haven't got a voice. It's serious. Extreme seriousness. Unfortunately, on this earth and the United Kingdom, everywhere, and especially in my area, it is so serious I can't even word things the way I'd like to. Not anyone to me, me to me. It's the system. It's all digital. It's all online. And whoever's at the end of the phone, like yesterday, I tried to delete that. I was reacting on Facebook, and I was just trying to focus to get the facts out because I won't be eating. In this environment, because of the way they have to do things, the cutbacks affects people. And then trying to access goods and services, and you just need to read these based on various disability forums and so forth. And not everybody has the luxury of friends or family to go support you independently and to find to sit in your wheelchair in a meeting more than an hour right now. I've never ever used to be like this. started deteriorating 4 months ago. But it's odd, extremely strange. Never used to be like this. And I was stable, you know, I was functioning. And you go back 4 months ago, my videos on this channel, you'll see that I'll get ill and stuff, but I know what it is until the care package, if I'm offered anything, is in place. There's nothing I can be doing. Whatever limited offers might be, I'll have to take it, no matter what it is. I'll consider the offers as long as they can offer me. It's just some kind of disclosure, and who's who, what's what. So I experienced traumatization. Again, like I did, repeated so long. So basically, what I found 3 main points of referrals. And this is how disabled people may get discriminated against in statute law. Section 21, 22, Equality Act 2018, Equality Act 2010, clearly states clearly states what your lawful rights are, and although it's all in black and white, so to speak, it is not happening on the front line in reality. It is very hard to realise we're in a system where there's, when I use the word depopulation agendas, they're not, there's great ideas. Excuse me. There's great ideas in which disabilities rights.org website articles. Excuse me. Articles saying conservatives, all the bloody, you just see the stories are so true. Information or fact on record. That's what I had to do today. God forbid anything else happens to me and end up getting ill again in a worse situation. Okay. So on 17th of the night, 2018. And prior to that week, struggling to recover from his head injury. Yeah, it's not great, is it? And then by the Friday, I say, this is what I don't get, why I'm so bloody weak all the bloody time. The shock by the 14th of Friday last week, with a video about that bloody, I heard when I was in bed, these blokes turned up to try and fix, like, it sounded like they're trying to fix a window pane in that main door where I live, communal door. I was extremely upset yesterday. I don't like making calls when I'm like that because I don't think straight. When I'm not emotional, I've been trying to get my words out, and I try and email rather than phone people because it's hard when all this happens. That's why I've been trying to get the lawful reasonable adjustments, because of all this. And that's why it's hard for me. Normally, before what's a will, I would be able to have these questions, the documents, and I've been working on a plan up until they changed this care advocate on me. She was excellent. She knew her stuff, and I built up this trust in a period of time with her, with me. It's hard. But I gave it a go. I gave it a good shot of a new replacement because I knew there's cutbacks everywhere. Horrendous treatment of the contents of the emails. Breaks my heart. It's cruel. The cruel wording of people that don't understand how our lives are really affected by illness, and it's not our fault. We all go through things in life, you know. I'm emotional today, so excuse me. So I get so weak in my health, and I struggle to do simple things. I get emotional. Got this meditation music card to help one. So my video channel I've got on the other one, from tomorrow it will be transferring. I'll be transferring to doing the streams on that one. It's going to be raw and hard to do, unless all the members of the public are aware. You'll just think thousands of people like us are on their system, and we don't have the same equal rights. You might look at this video and think, well, there's nothing wrong with it. Well, you don't know. You can't assume. There are unseen disabilities in so many areas, and one's life you go through, unfortunately. And then you get physical illnesses, and it's just escapades, you know. Isn't it? So basically I was going to try and keep on track. I need something to so my diet food I can eat is liquidized type baby food. I'm on this powder, like green grass powder, that mixes in with a smoothie drink to keep my energy going. I've got one of these similar things my mates have to peel for me. I didn't expect my body and the physical element, and I think it's all to do with the way environment I live in and how is air mold. And you see my nails are growing, so the blood seemed to be okay, you know, these blood tests. And I was in hospital. So I think what it is, it's what I'm living in and all this, what I'm drawing. And when the windows have to be closed at night, you know, it's in the air, isn't it? So it could be getting into my lungs and stuff, and it's not great. So when the statutory system and those that work in there, they have to look at the adult safeguarding elements. And the biggest thing it's always been is this housing environment. Unfortunately, I'm stuck in this merry-go kind of going round and round. And when I've been in severe reduction in my health, I haven't been able to participate in the offers of engagement of meetings and stuff, you see, or even get to places I've been referred to, especially when I need the extra. It's automatic assumptions made, assumptions that you have a family or friend to help you do things like sitting on meetings and excuse me, help you get such and such a place. If it was all happening at once, I think I could process it, break it all down, in a more sort of like coherent way. But when pressure is all at once, and unfortunately, it's like the life you convey about pressure. It's computer system generate letters, and and it bombards you, when you're so weak in yourself and you can't deal with it. When you try and make phone calls because they won't provide a bloody email, and you're trying to find an email and you still can't find one, but yet you provide one that you're dealing with. It's key men and women in the job role, public servant role. There's nothing. I know the social work in a job, what she's trying to do means, well, her caseloads are so high, and that means on the advocacy service, but they have no right to say what they did to me in an email. No one has authority to do that, and I don't consent to be bullied like that, trying to tell me what to do. I'm the one there's no compassion. If they're meant to be an advocacy service to help vulnerable adults, why are they bullying in the wording and the intention to cause that effect? I've had to report them. I've had to report the service manager and the care advocate. Doubt they're getting it done, but I've had to use their system to report it. And the extra documentation my mates added to the email, I've had to put on record. I don't like doing this. What choice do I have when they don't bloody listen to you and don't do the job because of the boasting, we have a contract till 2020. Well, how many cases? I did not know I was restricted to 8 hours at the start of offer. They call it in statute or character assessment. If I had the right help in hospital when I was there last year, and the discharge, proper planning and care, which I never had, these could have been sorted out by now. But it never happened, did it? I'm the one left to calling up what offer services now may be available because my friends are struggling out here. I wanted to pull out yesterday. And if they had, I would have had to call out emergency hours. And they would have had to send me around and I would have been disappeared into the system again. It was only when they saw the letters and the emails they held out and holding on for me. Because the pain they're going through to see me like this. And they know I never have been like this for a long, long time. So when I thought, like calling up back in May 2018, why am I so weak at the time and stuff? I never used to be. And male NHS England funded GP doctor suggested to get some blood done first and see perhaps you got a deficiency. I've got all this other stuff going on, I know. That's just already been managed reasonably okay. So I don't know what the results were in the hospital. They didn't give me an opportunity to have a discharge sheet because their computers went down in the discharge lounge area. It's like a special type of ward. And so I don't know, I've been trying to, that's why I tried to phone the GP side of things yesterday to see why they bombarded me with letters again and when they didn't respond to my 3 I'll make type letters. There's no way I can redo all that again. It took too much time and energy. That's why they don't a document, use the program system, a document online, to attach it to an email to every department, well, main to the main 3 areas at the moment. In the community, my area is known as Community Specialist Dental Services, where they're refusing the IV sedation in the community. Excuse my phone going off, I can't reach it right now. My analog alarm. This keeps you on track. And when they didn't inform me about I can access non-emergency transport, and then again, the problem is I've got, it's more complicated, I can't sit up in my bloody wheelchair for longer. It's all my spine, my neck, my right side. I'm on enough all these blinky medications, you know, doing what I can actually as well. I forgot they set the alarm for this time. Let me know when they're coming back in, my friends. So that was the dental hospital referral, all surgery. But until I moved out of here somewhere safe and not on this decapitated, what was the word, major disrepair, it's been so long. If I was well enough, I would have been in the Citizens of Ice. I would have made an effort to get up there somehow today to take up my case. I can find the email to see if they consider my housing rights and that. My biggest thing is now is my health. I can't even get well enough to go to meetings, let alone the offer of what is DWP, PIP, Again, I said to the social worker, absolutely shocked that the appointment system is a time just for my birthday. Great present that is, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, the thing they lost was the correct paperwork going to the correct medical practitioner, my GP, to put down my effects of my disability, what the diagnoses are. The fact that I had no contact name or email for the referral assessment team. All this hard process going through statute law, the care act assessment process is heck. It's really hard. When I should have been offered the care, the answer questions and go at my pace. And then it's really bad luck that my mum dies of me and I'm going through grief. And then I get ill. And that delays it all. And that's not my fault. But their system expects someone to be able to go and do this, that and the other. They aren't making any exceptions at all. When you get emails on the day to expect to be somewhere on the day, that's no respect for your lawful rights as a disabled individual. So the targeting goes on in subjects in ways. I was left no opportunity today to report it to the CCG, Commissioning Complaints Body, who deal with the primary care commissioning services. And obviously, if I can go through that angle to get the Better Care Fund on medical conditions, or a budget in that side of it too. They use the one database system digitally, and anybody in their job role in that area, field they're working in UK, in my area, NHS or primary care foundation trust, can input information on the computer system about you, wouldn't know what's said unless you go through all that rigmarole or go in data protection and get you access to data, which is free, and the medical records I've been trying to get is not happening, you see. So the key referrals since May, June, July, August, September. The dental side, Essentials Foundation side, that's got many departments I've been dealing with. The stream, you don't know this, the funding streams come from different sources, and nobody tells you this. Excuse me. There's no medically trained DWP public servants on computers looking at the computer notes, and they have to see face to face. 2013, they knew I couldn't walk, and a high amount of care I've got. Now, how do I explain? I'm being washed out of buckets in my bedroom. How to explain when I need a home visit and they can see the amount of medical equipment I've got? On paperwork and papers, they just see one thing, and I can't type up. The real worst days, I don't pay my bloody bills. I'm always late now. I'm late. I can't get out and do that. I don't have the software on my laptop to do it online. And all this extra help I would like to have thought, eventually there's a care plan that can be incorporated, budgeting and that. And get out of here, be somewhere a bit more cleaner, not cleaner, but away from this disgusting disrepair that won't do anything for me. And I'm the only one like this in my area, in this area of the flats where I rent. It's not, I've got no attachment to the place. I said yesterday to a social worker, I don't want to be here. No one is in the environment, not living here. But where else can we go? When you go on these websites and forums and people are stuck with no suitable housing. So you find out what their systems plan is to put people in institutional environments, and at the end of the day, I just need to be safe. The planning of it all is complicated, and you see men and women in their job role, occupational therapy, say, oh my God, major health and safety, blah, blah, blah. I know all this. I've been saying this for a long time. I've been trying to get house reports repairs, trying to offer to move out so they could do the repairs. I've done all this before I ended up in hospital in a serious situation, and now neurology, neuropsychiatry. Neuropsychiatry of the brain. That's why they referred me to the urgent care assessment place. That needs to be investigated. It's not the end of the world. I know. I got this problem. Thousands of people have postpartum stress. It's difficult to trust and communicate one's needs in the element way. Sometimes I find it very hard and strange in front of me. And the coping strategies I thought would be the change your minds, healthcare pathway, whatever they might do. But I think somebody might be looking on their computers thinking, no, she's got more intensified needs. So on my records, I think, medical records, somebody's put a comment there, which I've not been diagnosed with. But what I've been reading up before I got so worse the past days is how the trauma fragmentations of the mind, and then your body, the DNA. And then when you have, unfortunately, everyday things I'd normally be able to deal with, bills, paperwork, the usual stuff, is now being, the physical body's affected where the energy is gone. I'm surviving on like the bananas, keep the energy improving best one can and rest. So 3 elements, 3 flow referrals. So when you're dealing with an area, NHS or Nation Trust, it has various bodies and departments. Depending what your situation, what you refer to as disabled man or woman. And it depends on your personal situation, and nobody tells you of the new system. The NHS England is using computer data software until you're left wondering what the hell's going on for months, and then you find it out. Excuse me, I've got to go in a minute. The blood tests, the referral for oral surgery, appointment at least in outpatient. And the mental health side of it, on top of going through this Care Act assessment 2018 and trying to get this place. And on top, with now with the DWP capture thing. This is another major phase of one's life. It's a struggle. But why do they have to go and target the vulnerable? The agenda of UK, the so-called government, the way they're doing it. And people are being put through all this worse. Do you already go through things? They want to crack the mindsets of individuals. It's no fault of their own, they get unwell, get ill. And they've got no alternative but to turn to the state for things, you see. So as I'm here, going through like anybody else, similar position, you're just trying to get through and breathe, take it as it comes. You ain't got time to be ill. The state system in the UK don't want you to survive. It's like eugenics in a way. Get rid of the sick, the elderly, the burden on society. That's the mainstream side of it all, pushing that narrative, but we all have a deserving right to exist. And we need to find that inner strength. And I'll tell you that now, it's damn hard. When you have the bullying, harassment, nature, and content in email by professional bodies, representatives. In my area, commissioned, contracted, they call it care advocacy. They're not independent. I knew this a long time ago. So because my mate and I sussed it and we did this document, it's by Google Doc or something, and it set the notice of intention, how to treat. Is that sometimes you have to put very vulnerable things in the document. So these key men and women who have no clue what you're going through, and just reading a computer program or piece of information online and trying to gauge who you are, that's just ridiculous, isn't it? And that's what the system is like now, I'll tell you, and I'm talking first-hand knowledge. And that's what's been the problem. Trying to get for months all this dental referral specialist one take massive big operation, and then first it has to be one thing, then another thing, then another thing, and then on top of all this, they want people to give up, like with the DWP, the PIP, the captain, all that kind of thing, to cut the numbers down. So those say earlier, shout out to lady, she so know what it's like. There's so many people like me that knows what it's like, and not just United Kingdom. But it is, you wouldn't think when you look at this so-called country we're so wealthy, well, allegedly, but then they're treating, I mean, you don't get asked to get ill, you know. You don't, nobody does. And then you don't ask to get things happen to you in life and it affects you, mind, body and soul. I mean, psychologically, look what they're doing. They're cutting the accessible, but they're cutting everything, aren't they? Like with, for example, talking therapies. When you have history of trauma and then you're re-traumatized and things are happening in life and it doesn't help when you get ill, you can't participate and engage. And in the public servant's eyes, that is seen that you are just being stubborn when you're not. You're generally not well, fit well to get off your bed, to get into any bloody meeting, let alone do a bloody phone call. So as I made that call to a GP surgery yesterday to see what the hell, they have not got back to 3 letters my mate sent to seek clarification of what I need. With an email on those letters typed up for me. But yet, why is it that the patients and individuals cannot get an email out of them? And yet it's public funded by NHS England in the United Kingdom. So this email went off to the CCG in my area, and one of my GP surgery, she is on that panel as a health clinical director. And she sounded very nice last Friday. And she meant not last Friday, the week before when I had the head injury. And when the tone of these emails, even when I was recovering from the head injury, right, they were still trying to push up on me in a public meeting. And it's like you got able-bodied people. I'm just doing my job and I'm portraying to represent disabled people and their rights and advocacy. This individual, she ain't. She portrayed on a LinkedIn profile, she is. You could check things out that way, find out who they are sometimes. And I had suspicion for a while by certain people doing certain things and saying certain things. I can't be specific because I don't want to breach anyone's statement. So it's not my interpretation on words and emails. I'm used to all sticks and stones that just go in my bloody head. I don't give a shite. It's when you're so ill, you're trying to access services knowing you're not well enough to do things yourself. The cutbacks in my area started February 2018. And this is when all this dental health started coming in real bad. It's been months since I was able to see anyone. 16th of May 2018. And that individual, she was so clued up and trained as a care advocate. Smart, intelligent lady. Can you imagine the shock? You have trouble in trusting people and you build up your psychological build up to get to know people. You make an effort and that's taken under your feet. And you're only given 1 day's notice to meet another female who's younger, no disrespect to the woman herself per se, but it's how they've done it. There was no consideration how I won't be able to cope, how she wouldn't be able to understand nothing about my personal situation, and she hadn't read my notes on their computer system. It was obvious. And that came out through social workers, and I won't repeat our comments, private conversation. It was obvious, and that social worker is very well trained and highly experienced, and I admire people like that who can, I might not know you a lot, I don't know it all, And especially when I'm so ill, sometimes you need to reach out, you see. So it's my physical ill health that's got in my way, unfortunately deteriorate in such a way. I never thought I'd be like this. It's just an environment that's doing it all, isn't it? All. So, okay, you don't get time to grieve either, you see, in UK, when the state system's putting pressure on vulnerable, disabled people. It's true when you hear about people feeling the only way they can go is the sad, dark side of life and their thoughts. I was raised in a way that I won't be doing that. It's very hard to keep positive. But the important thing, despite all the mainstream education, as well as trying to use natural health, but bear in mind, the statute law, when you say someone well and you're weak, be careful when they come in like that and say adult safeguarding. I now know how it works and what they need to do, which is I didn't know last year when they tried it on me before. And sometimes other people can, outsiders can see you better than you can see yourself sometimes. And it's hard to accept help. It is. Well, for me, it's always been that way. But I'm not so stubborn to realise when the physical body, I always used to be stable, mind, body and soul, for so long. And it's all because of this housing disrepair. And it's airborne, whatever's airborne, it's getting me weak so bad. And I have to get out of here. And I've got my suitcases packed, ready to get out. And I'll be saying to that meeting tomorrow, you need to find me emergency safeguarding. You need to find me an emergency placement now. I can't carry on like this anymore. It's nothing I'm doing to me. It's nothing I'm doing to my friends are doing to me. They know. They're in agony. They're upset to see me so weak. To be washed out of buckets, there's nothing I could put up with that. No air wash. They have to wet my hair down with water, with the hair straighteners and hairspray. Can you imagine inhumane treatment by this limited housing employees in East UK deliberately not repair my wet room? It took them 3 odd months to repair that bloody door and a lock in my own flat. Before I got so ill, you see, I had done all these emails and letters and everything. I knew what to do. Had I ever thought my heart would go like the jaw, like a stroke, and lose all my functions and not able to use my right hand as well. If I had been streaming on Facebook at the time, my daughter-in-law, I wouldn't be talking to you now. So this is my way of trying to say on my new channel soon. I'm starting tomorrow. I'll be telling you as I am, what I used to be known by years ago, to give you a picture how I know how this bloody system messed up and how it started for me. To give you an input, obviously you weren't going to hear mainstream things from the mainstream media when they cover things up, do they? It's up to ordinary people seeing it as it is in reality. So, for my able-bodied years, from modelling and PR and TV and radio, and I had an attack on my life years ago, and I won't go into all that, it's very traumatising still. That's why I have this labels, you see, all my life and on medication. And when you have that serial killer, well, he's locked away for life now, for all these years on, and one day I like to think I'll be out of here somewhere safe and getting a stable kind of life. That's a long way off, because don't forget, a lot of people in the United Kingdom are going through this pit and a capita. they're screwing things up in such mannerisms. I can't even bloody, I haven't got the energy. They are absolutely sending no let die. What is it when the computerization, these robots, they're just like robots, these individuals on the computer systems, don't realize the implications that has when you're already down and you're ill and you're just surviving above the floating water, so to speak, your head above water. My mum taught me to make do what I've got, which I always do. So you'll see me on a really bad day, and next Monday I'll be worse in front of those strangers. But they always will get their reports wrong, you know what they're like, and you have to go through mandatory consideration, all this jargon all the time. I ain't going to give up. It's a statutory law system. Unfortunately, thousands like I are it. I know exactly what I can do in other areas, but you have to have your basic health and energy to be able to do other paperwork and documentations, you see, to do all that, and I no longer have. And that's why I'm come on and end this stream in a minute. And this, I knew. I didn't expect how hard the extra things I'm having to go through would be. But I'm going to be doing this for my late mum. I'm going to be doing this for my family members. They, for whatever reason they are. Sometimes when I feel like this and I don't know makeup on, you see what you get, and I'm emotional and my eyes look a bit puffy. I look like my mum. She was my age. Although I've got blonde hair, my hair's much longer. And I'd like to think I could afford to just get things a bit cut a bit, more manageable. But my social worker said to bring to that PIP assessment. A report that is difficult to excuse me. It's difficult to acknowledge all these years on still and how I'm prone, as my sister said one time. To another TA, minor stroke symptoms. It's like your brain, this side. When I hit the road, got run over. All these X-rays and scans that I've done is all the injuries I've got physically. I survived. Don't know how. I don't know. I think that's my spiritual guardian angel. I know it's about. I really do. Because that back car, or that wheel, went over my left ankle, a back wheel of a car. We jumped the curb. When my mum died, I had an accident of my own, wheelchair. And it was freak because I found some old beautiful church type of religion, combination of the tape. I haven't been able to play it since her death. It's too much for me to cope with. Painful. And then another accident happened. And it's a hot day because of that, I think. Then I found all these reports and I was able to give the evidence of my physical disabilities, what wasn't on my medical notes in June this year. I don't know where it went, but I found them anyway. And I reluctantly offered to this age social worker, excuse me. And I was able to, all these reports I've had for years, housing, occupation therapy, medical, you name it, I've had it. Housing needs. And it's all come back to fruition pre-60, okay? And so what? I'm not going to be hanged up about it now. It's going to happen, you know. And strangers to come in your home again. And it's about learning coping magnetism, you know, coping strategies. How to cope with strangers in your home. And I hope to think this time round I can try and learn from their skills and their education. That's going to be a test on my strength as an individual. They have to do this, you see. I don't want it done, but it needs to be done. In the statute system for disabled people in the UK, everything's, you see, the way it's set up now has changed. I don't like my personal information to get out there for people. It feels so like you're on scrutiny. You're on blinking watch. You just feel the intrusion in your private life. And unfortunately, that's how they work now. They have to abide by data protection, I know. But still, you have to look at your safeguarding. And that's what I've been focusing on. When they don't do correct, like, it's a bit like the questions I'm being asked for this Care Act statute or assessment processes. It's similar questions to what you're being asked in the paperwork and documentation and points for your disabilities. Why is it so hard? Because you're facing. So one is facing the reality of your situation. And that's how hard it is for me for producing these reports. When you're already traumatized by other things from the past and it hasn't gone away, and it won't, you just learn to live with it. And unfortunately it's escalated everything, you see, with me. I didn't know. I realised the impact of a personal matter, my mum's death and stuff, would impact everything again. And I've been extremely well balanced and okay, and I'm not saying not now, it's just the trauma. It's hit me out the blue. It's reactivated everything. And I'm no risk to myself, thank gosh, because I've had the luxury to learn of some really intelligent people I've got to know about meditation and relaxation. And it's very hard to keep remembering that when your whole bloody life seems to be collapsing around your bloody knees. And then when I read a scripture from a friend a while ago, and I wish I'd had the ability to get into that place he goes, and be able to face these people. And one day I'll get there, but not at the moment, you see. I think sometimes you get overwhelmed. It does seem like that, and this is why I was impressed by the social workers training. How to take it. She must be dealing with so many people going through so much as themselves, and how she manages with a job, I don't know. And she's not medically trained, and don't think she's read through all my medical notes, so many, but the history, the bigger picture, building a picture of your situation, and then working out a budget, and that's where the cutbacks come in. So it doesn't matter what your situation is, it's all to do with tick box and computer exercises, and if you meet that criteria, etc., etc., if you get offer anything, you see. And mainly the statutory law duty of care is that section 42, that's what it's about. The vulnerability, when I luckily, the upbringing I've had, I haven't touched drink or drugs, and I never will. And but some people do, because they're hiding the pain, and it is difficult to face. I was told years ago this reason why I can't talk about attempted murder in my life. The psychiatry, was it called psychotherapy? Years ago, I tried. So many elements of that years ago. It's part of the brain fragmentation, something like that, where be traumatized as a child, and the brain learns coping strategies to bury it deep inside your subconsciousness. And then the triggers happen when a traumatic event occurs again. It's a bit like those, unfortunately, in the conflict zones and army and stuff, or they come back and they have those problems, and and then you survive domestic violence. So I've had years, about 3 years, to do all this unraveling for the subconscious mind, and I got to a point where I was stable. For so many years, I was able to lift a lot of baggage on my shoulders until the disrepair started, until the health started deteriorating, and it slowly crept up silently on me, and not realising the impact. And then thinking that my mum would still keep going on, even though she's 84 at the time. I still thought in the back of mind she'd still be okay. And on top of everything this year, the dental health got in the way. Deterioration so badly, it's unreal. And then the referrals, all that, the complications, and my physical health and deterioration, and the problems trying to care for me with the disrepair going on for so long. And when you have done everything in statutory law for anyone in my position, and nothing is available because of the cutbacks, and they call it agencies, support agencies, because they even cut backs in public sector side of funding for those services. There was nothing available. So I'll be cut off without a paddle going up the stream, without a paddle tomorrow. That's going to test my spirit and my inner strength big time. How How can you sit next to someone that's actually betrayed your trust and they're younger than you and they've also got a disability? But you see, I know it's not that individual that's actually saying what she said in the way she said it. I know that she said it and who said it through her to appear that she said it. It's a manager she works for. I've got the recording of what she said to me and my sister on the 27th of July 2018. And I re-listened to it this morning. So that's when I found about the contracts commissioning from the county councils for those that are troubling to express themselves in this process, very complex, in adult health, social care, statutory law, 2014 it's called, and it goes into every single blinking thing. And so your life is like laid bare again. And because of the cutbacks, the caseloads are so high. So that's why it's taking. And unfortunately, I got so unwell between it all. And then my mum's death, and that's what's complicated it all. And that social worker knows that. But that care advocate doesn't care. She's just doing her job. Like a robot. She's young, you see. But the former care advocate I had knew exactly what it's like. Didn't know that my mum was dying, but she had to go on her own emergency leave. Whatever reason, I wish she could come back just to help me through this last phase of it all. But then she'll have to just catch up on all what's been going on, and she won't have time for all that. So all I've done today was require the confirmation why they've limited me just to 8 hours time to go through a very complex, detailed process, and very hard to do, and so will. And that won't get looked into because the process takes time, and before that I won't get the equality, I won't get the opportunity, and I'm not getting a fair act assessment at all. I'm not getting a fair assessment process at all. It's not the fault of the social worker at all. It's not our fault. It's a system for everybody in the United Kingdom. There is not any investment in adult social care until another year, by the end of next year, 2019, on Disability Rights website. I saw today again, another article. Yes, I need to contact, and that's why I contact CCG commissioning group in my area to put the complaint in, and added that document. My mate helped me today. She had 2 hours off while I was resting all day in bed. I'm up, but I have to go back to rest in a minute. And in my video, on this last video that I shall be using on this channel, means anything to anybody who's followed me on this channel for so long. And you've seen what it started out like, and the weather, and the subjects, then to housing, and now personally about deterioration in one's personal health and life. You see the difference from what I was, and now the channel will be about me trying to recover and the limited circumstances there is. So the digital age is here. I wish I had a copy of the results of blood tests. Why my blood pressure is always so low. Do I need some more medication for the blood pressure? I'm on underactive thyroid tablets anyway. But my gut feeling says it's my home environment, the disrepair. So I do meet criteria for floating housing support, and so I know it's late in the day, but I should be inquiring about that, and most probably they be the neighbourhood referred, because that's what I can say right now, because this IT produced letters. Yesterday, an admin woman took the phone, called for me. I was seeking clarification what's going on, and it's struggling to talk. She could see in my medical notes I've been in hospital, and I was going to get a call back from a partner of the practice, and he didn't call me back. What was it? Because I'd held him accountable by the 3 letters of seeking clarification. I saw what it was about, of why things hadn't been done the way it should have been done. So if you don't know how key subjects, whatever your disability is, whatever your situation may be in the United Kingdom, and you know too well, when you know subjects, you study certain things for years. The triggers, just be aware how it could come suddenly. You don't know, God forbid, when you get deterioration in your health. And be careful how this, if you do have family that are able to help, you have loved ones that care and able to help, treasure that with you, all you can do. And there's thousands of people, unfortunately, that don't have that, whatever's happened, whatever reason. And the system expects one to be able to have a family or a friend to sit on our meetings. There's assumption on that, which is not right. So that document, as I said, has gone out to Key. They have a computer, so unfortunately, sometimes you have to use their system. One system, System 1 database. The documents there, black and white, are all offers the services by all other public services in my area, United Kingdom. This is my lawful requirements. In section 21 and 22 of the Equality Act 2010, and that focuses on the disadvantage I have been placed upon and still am. And they have equality duty of that to not discriminate and act less favourably to one, which is still going on to me. But when you're dealing with large corporations and vast amount of public servant employees, there's going to be teething problems and major failings, which, think about it, when they're getting a budget increased by central UK government for all NHS type services, and there's more protection for the benefits of public servants in the job role in the NHS, exactly, for example, we're reading about it again today, my friend did. The only way is to seek an avenue down the CCG, better healthcare funding, to see, and it's really hard to do that as well. So I'll be pushing that tomorrow to see for someone to make inquiries as well, to get perhaps joint funding in place. Because I do have medical conditions, not just social healthcare. It is medical too. So when I went on the QCC website today, my friend helped me to do that. We made a report, anonymously of course, about this medical practice. I've never been involved in my care. I couldn't believe that should have been. They never asked me about their complaints, policy, procedures, everything for so long. And it's not, I want to keep doing that, but they're pushing my boat and my hand on that. and that because they only care about them, medical, NHS England, all the new models, and soon you won't be able to see a medical practitioner. It's all about webinars, online services. So don't get me wrong, I'm not against progress, but think about it. When you're so ill, unless there's equipment, you've got the support to use that technology to aid your health in many areas and ways. It's all mainly geared up for those that have less complex needs. So are we going back to Victorian eras where you do not see or hear about those with complex disabilities into institutional environments yet again? Because all this lovely fluffy dubby statute law is all clear, because there was very good people, there's other articles on that website as well, how they're absolutely going for those spinal disabled people first and crucifying our personal right to life in ways that I can't even go on about. It's just... So whatever happens now, I'm not giving up, by the way. It's just going to be a major change. When you've used the system to make sure that what happened in your own before, the abuse and stuff by public funded employees, not everybody but key ones, never got accountable, never do. So it's all about ordinary members of the public making awareness, and even if you don't end up in my situation, you got friends and family members. If you know about private pensions and health and care or whatever, and God forbid, just do that as soon as you can. And if you've got young ones, little ones and family, whatever you do, investigate and invest into private care, whatever you can afford, because if I'd known how this would have gone, and I've ever known if I would ever get like this, I would have done that long time ago. Sadly, I've never been in that position to know about all that years ago. I never had the opportunities in life to know about these things, how to do that. And I'm just as too late in that area. But anyway, it's not going to dwell on negativity. It's going to just breathe and take one thing at a time. And listen carefully to those that have their skills, but also be aware. Just be aware how you are, the signs in yourself. Watch out for your loved ones, because the pressures are only going to get worse. And it's not just about the subject for the cutbacks for the Save People UK in every area. It's even for the working man and woman, or your families with a universal credit coming in. That's the only reason what I'm doing. Trying to move on carefully and safely. I've always known he wanted to take my home off me. But realistically, looking at it practically, and that's what I'm doing now. I'm looking at it, I'm not giving in. It's just bricks and mortar and my secure rights. They know I've got to claim housing inside of it all. God bless you, take care. Just remember, sleep, meditation, try and keep your health balanced as best you can. Don't hesitate if you feel in despair to ring those numbers that's available. Never, ever, ever feel that it's easy to feel you're alone and cut off, but remember, you're not alone. There's thousands of people that you may not know about that are going through so much just the same. For those of you that are public servants and you're on the front line and you're seeing things yourself, the crisis of the system, you know too well that your hands are tired, because you got people above you breathing down your neck and your hands are tied what you can do or not do. And I know you might get a lot of criticisms by the public, but unfortunately, until people go through situations and see the big picture when they're able to, they won't realise what you try and do for people like us. And it wasn't for the police and the ambulance crew last year, for me, for example, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here. I am though, and I'm still going to go on. I'm just saying, all you can do is your own little thing, your own way. For those who are the key CEOs and profiting off the public purse, I've got nothing to say to you. I have nothing to say to those that have no decency, no heart, no compassion whatsoever. We're all trying to survive on the same earth in our own way. But you sure don't give a monkeys about ordinary men and women just doing their job and people like me, how it's affecting. And my goodness me, the agendas behind it all, it's so disgusting and so unreal. But this is 2018 plus. Get ready for this extreme roller coaster. Prepare your mind, your heart, your body and soul as best whatever you're able to do. That's all I have to say for the end of this video thing. It is really, really important how the targeting is going on, how the judgmentations is going on. And I'm not targeting or like saying what they say, what's the words? Everyone's being, I'm not trying to say everyone's brushed with the same wording. What I'm trying to say perhaps might not come out right, but this is life. So I've survived attempting my life. I've survived being my neighbour. I've survived worse than this, and I'll survive this. But it's just going to take time. And it will get better with the pain from mum's loss. And it will get better. It will get worse before it gets better, I know that. God bless. Take care. Just remember, you're not alone.